Caleb Plant versus Trevor Mccumby is happening. Now, who's going to win this fight? Well, before we talk about who's going to win this fight, let's take a look at their latest performances in which Caleb Plant fought Anthony Durrell, in which both went back and forth, both had some great shots until Caleb Plant knocked out Anthony Durrell in round 9. At this, Caleb Plant wanted to fight David Benavidez, in which Caleb Plant started off great until David Benavidez let his hands go, completely outlanded Caleb Plant, took control of the fight, and he ended up taking it by decision.
And still, the undefeated interim.
Now let's take a look at Trevor's latest performances, in which he fought Rodolfo Martinez, in which Trevor knocked him out in round 1. And at this, Trevor wanted to fight Christopher Pearson, in which Trevor landed some great combinations, completely outclassed Christopher, and he ended up taking it by decision.
Now, here's the thing about this fight. It's a pretty interesting fight because you got Trevor Mccumby, who's undefeated with a record of 28 wins, with 21 of those wins coming by knockout. So he seems to be a pretty fresh fighter, on top of the fact that he's been really active, having 2 fights last year and 1 fight this year. But here's where it gets interesting, because he's had a 5-year break, because after 2018, he stopped fighting and he didn't come back until 2023. But besides that, he does seem to be a pretty good fight for Caleb Plant, but you could argue that he hasn't fought at the level that Caleb Plant has fought at. And when we look at Caleb Plant, well, he stands with a record of 22 wins, with 13 of those wins coming by knockout, but he does have 2 losses, which one of those losses did come by knockout. But we got to give Caleb Plant some credit because he has fought the toughest guys in the division. So we have to see, is his high-level experience going to be enough to beat the up-and-coming undefeated fighter? Well, I think that if we get the same Caleb Plant that we have been seeing in his latest performances, who shows off his speed and boxing IQ and his heart even when he's in tough positions, but then I believe there's going to be a hard fight for Trevor Mccumby, and he's going to have to do something very significant in order to win this fight. So in the end, my prediction is that Caleb Plant will show that he's not slowing down and that he's not going to get beat by somebody who hasn't faced the opponents he has faced. So I do got Caleb Plant winning this fight, and I do believe that Caleb Plant might be too much for Trevor Mccumby, to the point where Trevor Mccumby gets finished.